I'm Zach Frederick. How you all doing today on Saturday, November 28th? And I just wanted to speak my thoughts on something. It's about Tommy Sotomayor and what he talks about. When he talks about black people, and especially black women, that's what he mostly talks about. And he gets a lot of people riled up. The things he says and the way he says it, it gets under a lot of people's skin. It gets under black women's skin, gets under black men's skin. There's a lot of black men who defend black women, and and I just wanted to say that, give my thoughts about something that was on my mind, how when he generalizes, or when he talks about things that are common among black men and among black women, when he talks about things that are common among black people, in particular black women, that's what most of his videos are on, and he doesn't say not all. People give him shit about not specifying that is, and he has specified before. He has in several of his videos specified that no, not all black women do this, and this, not all black men do this, and he has specified before, but most of the time he doesn't specify, and I don't think he should have to. I defend him on that. Whether his opinions are right or wrong, I agree with most of his opinion, but there's a few things here and there that I don't agree with him on, but I agree with most of his opinions, and not only when he's talking about saying, not only when he's saying negative things about black women, but when he's saying negative things about black men, because he has made videos saying bad things about black men, and I'm a black man myself, but I don't get offended, because I know those things don't apply to me, and even some of the things that do apply to me, there's negative things. I'm not perfect. There are some negative things that he talks about in regards to black men that, I'll be honest with you, do apply to me, and things that I'm trying to get straightened out in my life. Not anything too bizarre, like these black men who are robbing people and black men who are killing people and doing all kinds of crazy fucked up shit, molesting children and stuff like that. No, I don't do any of that stuff. And I never did any of that stuff. And I never will do any of that stuff. But little things here and there, the negative things that he says about black men that, how sometimes we're lazy. That's a thing that I'll admit, it does apply to me to some degree. Sometimes I like things I want to do. I want to get shit started, I want to get my own entrepreneurship, my own business started, and sometimes I get lazy, like many black men too do. Yes, there's white men that do it too, but in general, on average, sadly, it's us black men who that's more common with us, that a lot of black men, myself included, when we want to get stuff done, when we want to start our own business or do something, we'll start it and have ideas, and we'll start it, but then we won't finish. As laziness of black people, black women and black men. And I'll admit, I suffer from that, and I don't get mad when he does say things that apply to me, and when he talks about the things that don't apply to me, when he talks about black men, who are molesting children, and black men who are robbing people and black men who are shooting people and doing all kinds of crazy shit. I know those things don't apply to me. Black men who are molesting children and committing rape and robbing people and getting into beefs and murdering each other for senseless reasons. I know those things don't apply to me. So when he says that, I don't get offended. And I don't care that he doesn't always specify that it's some, not all. He shouldn't have to. Us Negroans, as I like to call us, black people, because I know the common term for us is black. That's what we're commonly identified. Just like white people, the common term for them is white. Really, they're Caucasoid. Really, they're Caucasoid or Caucasian is the accurate term, the accurate name for white people. Caucasoid or Caucasian. Us, we are Negroid. People see that as a racist term. No, Negroid is the scientific term for us. When the police are doing toxicology reports and forensic investigating and shit, they will use proper terms like Mongoloid, Negroid, Caucasoid, Australoid. Those are the real races, because ethnicity, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican, African, Chinese, Japanese, Cambodian, French, Russian, Italian, German, Jewish, Arab, Iranian, East Indian, West Indian, Samoan, those are not races, those are ethnicities. And most of us get those confused. We've been taught to believe that ethnicity is the same thing as race. No, it's not. And us black people, so-called black people, we're really Negroid. I know sometimes white people like the KKK and certain racist and bigoted white people, they often use the term Negroid as a slur to us. Negroid or Negro for short, but it's really not a slur. Depends on the content in which it's used in, and that is the accurate term to describe us, Negroid, Negro for short. I like to say Negroans. I like to call us Negroans, like Caucasian Negroans. It has a flow to it, a ring to it. Like Tariq Nasheed, he identifies us Negroids, black people, as melanoids. I like to call us Negroans. And us Negroans, we got to learn to not be so sensitive, black women and black men, not be so oversensitive about everything. He doesn't say not all every time he's talking about things that are common with black women, and when he's talking about things that are common with black men, negative things that are common with black men, he doesn't always say not all, but he doesn't say all either. He doesn't say all or every black woman, every black man, all black women, all black. He doesn't say not all the time, but he doesn't say all either. So he shouldn't have to specify. Most of us black people, us Negroans, as I like to call us, we should get the hint, and stop complicating things and deflecting from the point and deflecting from the problems we face by nitpicking over, because every time someone makes a video saying negative things that are common about black women or Negroan women, and negative things that are common about Negroan men, every time someone makes a video about the negative things that apply to us, we want to get mad and be like, well, it's not all. And then even when he does specify, as I watched a lot of his videos, when he does specify that it's not, that he's not saying all black women, or that he's not saying all black men, even when he does specify, people still get mad, even after he specifies and explains himself. Because I could see if it's the first time you watched his videos, if you're a black man or black woman, even some white people get offended by what he says about black women and black men. There are even white people and Hispanics, people of other races and ethnicities, who get mad about the things he says about black people. Whoever gets offended, I could see if it's the first time that you watch one of his videos and he didn't specify that it's not all black women that this and that, it's not all black men, this. And then when you argue with him in the comment section or whatever, then when he specifies, because you're not sure, you don't know the guy, it's the first time you've heard him talk, and you're not sure if he means all or not all. But then when when you argue with him and when he specifies that, no, I'm not talking about all, from that point on, it should go without saying for people who watch his videos and listen to him all the time. It should go without saying from that point on. Because when him and other people say that black women have the nicest bodies, black women have the nicest big hips, the nicest big round ass, the nicest breasts, the nicest lips, they don't make no black women or black men don't get offended and say, well, it's not all, because it's not all. There's some black women who got flat asses. There's some white women who got big asses, natural big asses. There's some black men who don't have big dicks. If he says black men have big dicks and he doesn't specify that it's not all, he just says black men have big dicks and he's making a generalization. You black people, you won't complain about that? Because it's not all black men got big dicks. Not all black, and there's some white men who got big dicks. Not all white men have small dicks. Some white men have big dicks. Some black men have little dicks. But when he says black men have big dicks, making a generalization, I don't hear black people getting mad about that. But if he says black men are thugs and they're the motherfuckers that committing most of the robberies and the killings, the senseless killings and the child molestation and rape, then you Negroans wanna get mad and nitpick. Well, it's not all. When he talks about black women who are killing their own children at a higher rate than anybody, and black women molesting children, and black women having sexual affairs with 13-year-old boys, grown 30-year-old and 40-year-old black women having sexual relations with their daughter's 14 or 13-year-old boyfriend. Black women who are having black women prison guards who are having sex with the male inmates and getting pregnant by them. When he says stuff like that, I know it's not all. I have aunts of mine down south, black aunts and ones that are dark-skinned, darker than me, who are very nice, sweet ladies, the sweetest ladies you'll ever meet. I've had a few ratchet ones in my family too, like the kind that he commonly talks about. But I went to stay with my family down south when I was 14, and I stayed with my aunt and my cousins, who are all dark-skinned black women. They were the sweetest, kindest women you'll ever meet. They weren't ratchet. They weren't loud and aggressive. And they treated me great. They treated everyone great. And, so I know it's not all. It doesn't apply to all black women, the negative things he's saying. And he shouldn't have, he specified before, but when you watched a few of his videos and he's already specified to you that he's not talking about all black men or all black women, then you should get the point. And from that point on, it should go without saying. And if you don't like the way he talks about black women or black men, don't watch his videos. You don't have to watch his videos. But as I was saying, I have black women in my family who are the kindest, sweetest women you'll ever meet. Again, I've met a few ratchet black women in my family too, but there's a few black women, like the black woman my aunt and my cousins that I stayed with down south when I was a young boy. I stayed with them for the summer. They were sweet. They treated me like gold. And they weren't black women that were having babies with multiple different thugs and shit like that. And and I have met black women that I went to school with when I was a boy. I met black girls that I went to elementary school with and junior high and high school with. I've met dark-skinned, light-skinned, and dark-skinned black girls who were very kind and sweet, okay? I've met a lot of really, even some of the ones that wear weaves and perms are really nice and sweet. And the negative things that Tommy Sotomayor says about black women in general, I have met black girls and dark-skinned black girls and dark-skinned black women in my life that these stereotypes don't apply to. But I've also seen a lot of ones that it does apply to. And I've met white girls that are ratchet, white women that are ratchet and spiteful and manipulative and violent, loud and aggressive people that I don't want anything to do with. But in general, I've seen this behavior more with black women and black girls than with white females. I'm not trying to bash on black women, but I'm just stating the truth based on my experiences and what I've seen and the people I've dealt with. I've seen these negative behavior that what he talks about and what David Carroll talks about, what Raven Masterson talks about, what Tariq Nasheed talks about. I have seen this behavior more often with black girls and black women, more so than with white girls and white women. Doesn't mean it's all. Doesn't mean there's not white girls and Puerto Rican girls who are like that too. But in general, I've seen this kind of negative behavior where he talks about more with black women. Same thing with black men, and I'm a black man myself. But the behavior he talks about with black men, the stuff he talks about that's common with black men, being thugs and black men who are loud and over emotional, and black men who are quick to fight over any stupid thing and quick to shoot somebody over any stupid thing. Yeah, there are white boys who are like that too. There's white boys and white men who are like that too. But I have seen this behavior more common with black males, black boys and black men. So he's right about that. And I'm a black man myself. I'm not proud of it on behalf of our race, but I'm not ashamed, but I'm honest enough to admit it. The negative things that he says that's common with black men and black boys, I have seen it in my life that it is more common with black males than it is with white males, to be robbing motherfuckers and killing motherfuckers for stupid reasons and be loud and over emotional, hypersensitive to everything. I have seen this behavior more common with black males. Yes, I've met some really cool black dudes. Some of my best friends are dark-skinned black males who are civilized and they're not ghetto and they're not ratchet. So, of course, I'm not talking about all, but I have, in general, in my life, I have seen these negative things that Tommy Sotomayor and David Carroll talks about. I've seen this kind of negative behavior more often with black males than with white males. I'm just telling you the truth based on what I've seen, what I've experienced, you know. And I know, like I said, I got my flaws too. When he talks about lazy black men, that's something that it applies to me to some extent, and I don't get mad at him for saying it, because he didn't put me on blast. He doesn't even know me. He didn't say my name in his video. He didn't personally call me out. He didn't say my name, and he's just speaking in general terms. And if that applies to me about lazy black men, how black men like to start things and not finish, if it applies to me, that does apply to me, you know, I'm not gonna get mad at him for saying it. It's not like he put me on blast and he said my name. But if I know that it's something that is a negative thing, I gotta work on that, and I can't get mad at him for if I don't like to hear him talk about it, things that apply to me, I don't have to watch his videos. When he talks about laziness of black men. Okay? But, because that's a thing, that's one of the things that applies to me, laziness. You know, he didn't call me out personally. He didn't say my name. If I don't like hearing him say it, then I don't have to watch his videos. But that was something that hit close to home. So what I should do is try to change my ways and not be so lazy and, you know, finish what I started and not be lazy. Not get mad at him for calling out the problem when he's making a generalization and he's not attacking anyone personally. You know, and that's all I wanted to say. Those were my thoughts for today. It's just something that I was thinking about. It was on my mind. I thought I'd make a video about it. So you people, my fellow whatever white people, whatever Caucasians that are watching, whatever Mongoloids or Australoid, whatever Chinese, Japanese, Cambodian, Indian, German, French, Irish, Italian, and whatever Negroans, because this is a message specifically to my fellow black people that I like to call Negroans. My fellow Negroans, thank you for listening. Be sure to leave a comment in the comment section below. If you click the thumbs up button if you like, and hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel if you want to subscribe to the channel. And thank you all. You have a nice day. I'll see you later.